The Room Next Door, 2024. If I was about to sum up this film in one word, it would be tender. Pedro Almodovar is a genius. I've absolutely loved most of his films, but this is already one of the best of his films, in my opinion. It's about the immense difficulty of dealing with death, one of life's hugest moments, obviously, the death of someone close to you. Um, I checked the trailer because I don't want to give anything more away than is in the trailer, and I think it does allude to a character being at the end of their life or wanting to finish their life. It doesn't really explain that Tilda Swinton's character, Martha, is dying of cancer, but I'll mention that simply because it is probably the most scariest ways, one of the most scariest ways of dying in modern life. Most of the time, I think dying in a war is another scary option. And wars feature a lot in this film too, partly because Martha was a fearless war correspondent. She was in battle many times, reporting on hostilities in places like Iraq. And so she's war hardened. However, now she has cancer. She is very um, determined to choose her own moment to leave this world. And that is a subject, it's a controversial subject. It's covered a lot. In the UK, it's been discussed a lot simply because um, there's the assisted dying bill. I think it's passed. It's certainly passed certain stages. So I don't really know where it's got to. I don't really follow lots of this news, but if anything, this film helps push my mind in a particular way. And I'll explain that to you as I carry on with this review. Without, I mean, in a way, I do see the argument both ways often, and I think, oh gosh, this is so complicated. And like so many things in life, how do you choose? How do members of parliament make laws, and do they really consider everything? Well, some do, I think. Others, I'm not so sure about, especially with decisions that have been made recently on other subjects. But now, the film starts with Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore is an author. She plays the character Ingrid, and she's at a book signing. And she meets um, someone. I mean, there's quite a long queue, and another co-author says, "Oh, we better stop now." But then someone appears in the um, sort of slightly queue jumps, saying that because she knows um, Ingrid, and they catch up on Martha, who's a mutual friend, and that's where she finds out that she's in a memorial hospital because she has cancer. And so that's explained really early on. And then there's a poignant moment with the next person in the queue because I was kind of watching the next young woman in the queue who doesn't object when someone jumps the queue. And I think, oh, she's not going to get her book signed because, the other author's like agitating to stop more people joining the book signing because it's such a it's going to be long. So she has to go to the back because Ingrid says she will sign all of the people currently in the queue. So stop the rest of the queue. Um, but the next, this young woman, she's in the queue. She does get her book signed, and there's a little beautiful moment that signifies to me this could be a really good film. So, um, I found some of the early story I was a bit disdainful. Like, there's a backstory about Martha's husband who is damaged in the war in Vietnam, and it shows a scene from, I guess, decades ago, maybe the 70s, 60s, even. I don't know. It feels a really long time ago. Um, yeah, the car suggests 60s probably. Where this husband runs towards a house on fire. I mean, he's been in Vietnam, he's got damaged badly, and now he hears screams and he thinks someone needs to be rescued from this fire in this house. It's like a farmhouse in the middle of a prairie, miles from anywhere. So there's that little backstory, but the main story is about um, Martha and Ingrid's relationship. I mean, Ingrid turns up at the hospital, um, catches up a bit, and a bit later, when Martha's in convalescence, she asks Ingrid a very difficult question. I think if any of my friends asked me this, wow, that would be something to think about a lot, and I don't know because, especially the way things play out. I mean, the thing is, the law is different um, in different countries, so um, you'd have to check up about the law if someone asked you to do this particular thing. I won't say exactly what it is, but mm, I might. Oh, gosh. Um, I mean, it's clear from the title, The Room Next Door. Um, Ingrid is asked by Martha if she'll accompany her out to upstate New York. I mean, they're in central New York, but out into the countryside. Beautiful place where she intends to um, finish off her life herself because she's gone on the dark web. Gosh, that's a scary place, but it exists, and there's all sorts of things out there apparently. Um, and um, she's via someone, an associate, a doctor, I think, pointed in the right direction mm, to get a pill that will um, finish her life. I mean, this area isn't really isn't spoiler territory simply because we know, and I think I get this impression from the trailer that um, she's dying. She just doesn't want to die in agony. But the other crucial factor is that she doesn't want to die alone. She wants someone to be close by, in the room next door, or somewhere very close, while she goes through this. I mean, I guess it is so isolating to be on your own when you're about to die. And so the fact that the law might make it difficult for someone to um, to know that someone else is intending to end their life. I mean, I mean, it's inhumane, I think. So this law does crop up a bit. I mean, in a sense, there's an element because some religious groups think it's not right for people to um, know that someone's about to end their life. It puts a hell of a burden on someone. It really is horrifying to think that um, if someone legitimately, I mean, the thing is, many religious people use the phrase commit when they talk about, I won't use the word actually, but when someone is taking their own life, they describe it as committing a crime. And that is just, oh, I don't know. I find it really quite upsetting in a way because I guess it is like other forms of bodily autonomy. It's like um, the abortion debate. It's like the trans debate, which is making a lot of news again, unfortunately, this week because what happened on Wednesday. I mean, it's been a lot in the news anyway. So, um, the lack of humanity that some people have really is quite disturbing. We all um, approach life from different perspectives, and we probably all have slightly different moral compasses, but it doesn't feel morally right to um, deny someone the chance to do something. If someone, um, I know people who've attempted uh, to finish their own life, and um, they haven't told me in advance. Although one person with one particular example, I got told by someone else about this person, and I had to be part of the job of trying to stop this person doing it. And that's all I will say before I get upset. Um, I know I didn't really want to be involved. I mean, to be involved is it's mind blowing. It's really difficult, but trying to do this without getting too emotional. So this is so poignant. It's just I just so to I mean, oh gosh, there's a scene with a police officer later on, and that is one of the most difficult scenes I thought because it did blow my mind as such. I just thought people really do think that particular way, the way this police officer thought what he said to the person he said it. I mean, there are other twists and turns before we get to that point as well, because the room next door, um, there's this place, it's out in the countryside, and the um, Ingrid is staying in a different room, but if Martha has decided that she's going to end it, she will have the door closed. And if the door's open, it will signify she's alive. So, and there's always the possibility of mistakes. That's what I thought before a possible. Oh, no, I'm not going to go into that. But there's one or two moments I thought, oh wow. I mean, there's some. They watch films together, and they're golden oldie films. I mean, one is I think called The Little Woman. Slapstick. They're laughing. I'd love to see that. There's The Dead with snow falling. Damn. want to see that as well. But there's a problem with doing these film reviews live. I can't edit out when I'm feeling emotional, but I find it inspiring. Really, wow, it's a great film. I like also that we see all the modern way things are in the 20s. Here we are in the mid 20s with all the tech of streaming, of apps, um, and the dark web, but I guess that's been around for a while. But um, Julianne Moore's character, wow, she was awesome. I could so feel for her. I mean, in a way, that's the character that I felt I was like in this film. I just thought, wow. I mean, to be put in that kind of position, she had so much humanity. And I mean, Tilda's character, I mean, she's stoical, but she doesn't want to be any more stoical. I mean, that's the thing. Um, the I mean, to have two accomplished actors conveying such a powerful message. There's also John Turturro. He plays Damien, who's like a mutual friend of both Ingrid and Martha, but Ingrid doesn't reveal to Martha. Ingrid does not reveal to Margaret that she's been in close contact with Damien, but he's like a moral support. Um, he was in a war scene and he's LGBT. He's gay. He's a gay man. So there's this LGBTQIA plus element in this film, and he's advising that Ingrid should get a lawyer, and she says she's going to just keep it secret. But of course, that means it's going to be that more difficult. Um, that much more difficult, I guess, even with a lawyer. I mean, the fact that you know about something. I mean, I don't really know what people are supposed to do if someone has has explained their intention to end their life. You can tell the authorities. In some cases, they may section the person. That's not going to help them. Or they may be allowed, as I think usually happens, certainly in the UK, to go back home when they've managed to convince the medics that they're not an immediate danger to themselves or to others. Um, so they, oh gosh, um, there's the book that this is based on is called "What Are You Going Through?" And that's it. There's an awful lot of empathy in this. Um, so there's dealing with the guilt. Oh yeah, it's the best quote I think. It's like when Damien says to Ingrid, "You're one of the only people who knows how to suffer without making other people feel guilty for it, feel guilt for it." It's something to aspire to. That's I think that's where Ingrid is admirable, and Julianne Moore conveys her message so well. Um, and there are twists. There's a few twists. I don't think it's the twists that are going to draw you to this film, though. I mean, they help keep the tension to keep watching, but I was always going to watch this to the end. But my question is, how do we put love out there, more love out there? The world really needs more kindness and more compassion, more humanity, especially right now. Um, the other thing Damien mentions is the world is dying. It's scary. I mean, I quite believe him. I don't know. There's different degrees of how quickly the world is facing such huge threats from climate change. Um, but the fact, yeah, one thing he says is we've got the worst combination of neoliberalism and the far right, the march to the far right. And that's it. That's the despair of the last few months, especially. And this was made last year. This is 2024. So, but even so, there was that worry that things could get as bad as they are, and this really um, shows that. Now, I'm going to score this 9.25. It's a film I would happily watch all over again today. I watched it on Wednesday evening. Yeah, Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. Oh my gosh. I'll watch it again today, Friday. But um, I think it very much is one of my top 10 films of the year, probably top five. I'd love to know what you think. Um, please like if you like this review. Um, thanks if you subscribe. Please hit the notification button, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.